Hello, and welcome to The Table Is Yours, a role-playing adventure show where a bunch of friends sit around a table and through video call and play Dungeons and Dragons, and hopefully soon, during breaks of Fated Fates, other TTRPGs. I am your lovely host, your GM, your DM, your friend, Con Riley. My pronouns are they, them, and you can follow me anywhere at Kryles, or Kryles_. You'll see that. And let's go around and meet our table friends, because I can't say F anymore because people get upset with me. Okay, my favorite number is the single digits is 7. But then my favorite numbers after that are all divisible by 7. Nice. So 84 used to be my favorite number for no fucking reason. And then it's not my favorite number, but it's that number that follows me. I don't know if anybody else has this. Yeah, it's a number that follows me. Is 343. And here's the example. I had whenever I played Halo as a kid, I played the multiplayer with my brother, so I didn't play the campaigns yet. But when I had a DS, I named my username was it was supposed to be Esteban Julio Ricardo because he was my favorite character through Zach and Cody, but I thought it was Escoban, so it was Escoban, and then it was 343. I just chose the last 3 numbers, and then ever since then, that number follows me. When I started getting into the campaigns, I see 343, and then Bungie became 343 Industries. 2 doors down from me, whenever I walked down to the bus stop, right before the bus stop was 343. My blood sugar when I was diagnosed with diabetes, type 1 diabetes, was 343. Whenever I look at the clock or look at my phone, it's 343. It's like a number that follows me, but that is 7 cubed. So it's weird. That's cool. But it's I don't know. It's like that one number that weird horror Jim Carrey movie that I never saw.
42.
Yeah, 42. Yeah.
That movie was weird.
My stepdad has a 2. He sees 222 everywhere. Triple 2s.
Ooh, that's cool. So, that's an angel number apparently.
Yep. So yeah, but 7, 84, and I guess 343. But that one we have a little bit of bitterness.
Love hate.
It's a slow burn.
Yeah.
Yeah. The will they, won't they?
Yeah.
I can't take this relationship anymore. I have to quit you.
And 343 isn't that your phone number?
That's my phone number.
Yeah, your phone number. I was like, it's somebody's phone number that I recently.
Okay.
If you want to call Heather, call
something 343 something.
What if
it's just 343?
What if I perfectly just spat your number out?
That'd be amazing because I don't think we have each other's number.
That's one of those fun things where I was just like,
what's the movie number? Like the movie
555.
555.
Yeah.
It's 555-343 6969.
Hi, I'm Jake. I play Finley Day for Bulk Extraordinaire, Big Soft Boy. You can find me over the hills and everywhere, roaming with my horde of hounds, protecting the fields and from just anything, really.
And on Jake Y.
And on Jake Y on Instagram and Jake Y on Twitter with a V instead of an A. My favorite number is 8.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I play Wash. Both our pronouns are he, him. You can find me in Campbell's brand chicken noodle soup. I don't have a favorite number, but 420 is pretty nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hi. I'm Sydney. I play the half Harengon fighter, sorcerer, Codex Theory. Both of our pronouns are she, her, but only one can have them active at a time. And I don't have a favorite number, but my number for I think my entire career as a field hockey goalie was 77, which is fun, but that's what I got. Numbers aren't my thing.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I play Isabella Ballador, Tiefling Paladin Bard of the group. We both use she, her pronouns. And you can find me at merkmerk13 on Instagram, and 13 is also my favorite and lucky number.
Howdy, I'm Vic. I play resident rap boy Terrence Astonis. My pronouns are they, them. Terrence's are he, they. You can find me at Vic_Jean___. And my favorite number is 2020. No, it's 20.
That was a bad year.
And my favorite number is 21. I really particularly like the equation 7 times 3 equals 21. I just find it very satisfying for some reason.
Yeah.
And it was one that didn't have a trick to remember it, so you just had to remember it when you were in elementary school. So that's my favorite one.
Hey, I'm Heather Lore. I play Shay Erebos. You can find me on Instagram or kind of any social media at Land of Lore. My favorite number is also 13. Going with that one. And then if we don't want to all do the same ones, 42 is my second favorite.
The meaning of the world.
The meaning of the universe. 42, baby.
And of course, you can follow us anywhere at TTIYDND. Again, that's TTIYDND. On Instagram, on Twitter, on Donner, on Doodle,
On the pizza box.
on the pizza box. And follow our Patreon. Help us and support us and subscribe to us. And I'm stuttering. But yeah, we have cool stuff out there. Yeah, I think that's all I got. But with that, if there are no tables, if there are no tables, we're done.
Oh, wait.
The table
Oh my
is
God.
gone.
The table is gone.
The table was ours, but I don't know who took it.
I don't know who has it now.
My table!
But with that, if there are no comments, concerns, questions, queries, wonders, hopes, wishes, dreams,
We left go
wonders,
this
No,
long
we don't
ago.
have those.
then we will get into what happened last time on the last episode with the last recap for last time on Dragon Ball Z. No.
This is not our last episode. Don't go anywhere.
No. Let's get into what happened the last episode on The Table Is Yours. What story shall be sung today? One can never know how the melody might sound. Our adventurers have already begun to pluck the strings of their story, and their combined composition is unfolding like a road before us.
So being sent to the wilds immediately wasn't ideal, but hey, at least Issa and Wash grabbed our stuff before Maud sent us out. When we got there, Finley showed us through this town called Vilmire to the mountainous entrance on the abandoned Panwork mine shaft. This is the base operations for the Martyrs of Ponte. He also explained to me that it might not be best to be wearing my dead dad's Vol Multitude military jacket out here, since obviously the Wilder people don't have a great relationship with the garrison of Vol Guards. They basically terrorized them. Fine. Connie drunkenly stumbled ahead of us in the mines and came upon Fiara and Cazamir de Marta, Rush, Willow, and other Martyrs of Ponte. The rest of us followed behind, where we caught Fiara up to speed as much as we could. She suggested that we all rest since it was an exhausting banquet and very late, so we did. Well, most of us anyways. Finley stayed up to talk to Fiara and Cazamir and the rest. They recounted what had happened since Finley was last home, as he explains his time with the rest of us. Fiara asked him to stay as a fated fate to protect us, since he was apparently good at that, and Fiara saw something in us. I guess that's kinda sweet. When Finley told Fiara about Sham and Arathia, this upset her. She was ashamed to have been played by the likes of Arathia Burke, and not being able to protect Sham or his sister better. She began to spiral, getting overcome with grief that she was not being a very good leader to the Martyrs, people she swore to protect. But Finley told her she was a good leader, she was just obviously burnt out, nothing some rest and planning couldn't fix. Codex and Shay decided to go check on Balthazar in his cell, since the Martyrs said he wasn't speaking. Codex started off by apologizing to Balthazar for giving up on him. He was confused and did in fact speak, but he was unsure of why the two were there to speak to him. He goaded them, admitting yes, he was defeated, he wasn't able to reset Zabraria like he wanted. What else did he want them to say? Codex asked what he would have changed, which led him to say that if he could have changed anything, he would have died with his parents. He admitted he wanted to die, but was too scared to do it himself. He explained that he felt like not only a failure because he couldn't avenge Ponte, but he imagined being trapped in this cell forever, just constantly reminded of his disappointing ventures. Codex shrugged off his sentiments and pushed further. She asked him why he didn't kill her or the other fated fates when he had multiple chances. Balthazar revealed that the fated fates gave him hope, and he almost wanted to be bested by them rather than squander what hope he had left. Codex asked if he still had hope, and he gave her an exasperated shrug, which made her and Shay return to bed. The next morning we awoke. Well, all but Connie, who is still a little hungover and sleeping from drinking so much at the banquet. Fiara told us that in the time since we've last seen them, they had found a new diamond for us to make a wish with. I wonder what we'll do.
Yeah, the next morning when you guys all gather, Fiara's sitting around the table. I will say everyone's gathering, but Connie, who is very hungover, down and out. Yeah, down and out from the happenings of last
Couple episodes.
I would
Yeah.
want some alone time after that too, Jesus.
Yeah. So Fiara is standing in front of all of you. At this meeting-esque table. I would say honestly, she probably has the diamond in front of her. Now there are other martyrs in there, so if anyone's thinking about being crazy hands and grabbing them, that's probably the best idea. I feel like you guys wouldn't, but just as a forewarning,
I tackle Fiora to no get it.
there's probably this long kind of nulling pause. We have this now, and we probably should use it. I thought maybe best to kind of shrugs her shoulders. See if anyone had an idea for a wish. I thought maybe you might have an idea, or Rush or Willow would have an idea, since they're the ones who procured it. I don't think it's necessarily a choice I want to make, or need to, so I thought I'd bring it to the colleagues and friends I have.
Do we need to use it now?
I guess not, but...
Is there anything we still want to know, like what the diamonds are capable of, that we can maybe use as like a guide to figure out what wish to make? I know that we know now that we can wish a god behind the divine gate, so that's possible. We can use it to undo a wish that was already made.
Right. And it seems no matter what the wish is that is made, unless the Lady of Want is still... She kind of like looks around with that like face, like wandering amongst us. I'm assuming she's now behind the divine gate after the wish to undo what Balthazar did. So I guess we at least know now that we don't have to wish them behind the divine gate. They will go there once released.
Interesting.
But obviously with Arathia and the Shadowed Fear, Cazamir and I both have the theory that most likely, since she wished him to be tied to her, it interrupted that flow.
So can we wish him behind the divine gate?
I mean, we could, if you think that's advantageous to do that now.
It would take away a very good leg up that she has against us.
No more bodyguard.
On second thought, that might not be a good idea, because then she'll go hunting for another diamond.
True enough. What do we know of the god that's tied to this one?
This diamond is tied to the Boltmaster, the god of weather and arcane.
So we won't really know what might happen when we make a wish with this one, except something with the weatherman.
Correct, yes. If you're in reference to like influence of the wish.
Correlation, yes.
We could wish for it to rain more often in the wilds, maybe get some plant growth coming back.
Fiara like scoffs and like kind of like puts her hair like fucking like two pinches the bridge of her nose. No, I don't think that will fix what's going on in the wilds, unfortunately.
Could you wish to always have like a scry on Arathia or something so you can see what she's doing?
We could. Again, I'm not necessarily asking for ideas what would benefit me. I meant more to bring it up as like I don't necessarily have any desire to make a wish. If anybody perhaps does, or if we want to just wish the Boltmaster, Ethernaut, the god of weather and arcane behind the divine gate, we could also do that. But I'm more bringing this as a open discussion for what we all think.
Why not just save it for when we can figure out how to fix the wilds?
Agreed. Or when we have some unexpected thing inevitably pop up, it would be nice to have that up our sleeve.
Right, but the problem with the wilds, I don't think we can just solve with a diamond, because we'll still have the problem that's plaguing the wilds regardless. So why would we sit with a diamond until we fix the problem that would ultimately just hurt the wilds again?
What is the problem that's hurting the wilds right now?
The Berg.
The Berg.
Well,
Not Bergian, but...
Hold on. I should apologize, first and foremost, that I did not treat most of you with any feeling other than you felt like means to an end but still enemies. Most of us in the wilds, as she kind of looks over to the other martyrs, a lot of our frustration comes with the Berg and maybe some of its people that do that thing, but I can say I was wrong in thinking it was everybody. So I shouldn't say it's the Berg, but that conversation I had when I first told you all that I did at the Naramon Society still rings true. There are those hiding in the shadows, and they are in the Berg, is the running theory. So I should clarify and say it's not just the Berg, but the theory is it's I mean, I hate to say theory, but I guess I don't have it necessarily proved because I don't know who or what group or whatever it is behind what has happened to our people. And I don't mean our people, just the wilds, but of all of Zabroria, because we've all been hurt in different ways. It'd be foolish to not think of it as anybody other than someone in the Berg. I think.
I would definitely agree. It also depends on who in the wilds you ask what the problem in the wilds is. But everybody's going to give you an answer that stems from the Berg. Whether it's your burgomasters, whether it's... I don't think anybody would say the pontiff, but someone could say the Tad Thorns. Someone could say It's
Okay.
Arathiaburg specifically.
Do we think
Everyone contains
Seraphina?
Seraphim is a great one. The garrisons.
I think it's
multitude.
more the overwhelming corruption that plagues the burg in general that is
Right.
affecting everything else in the
when your
country.
upper echelon is corrupt, it doesn't matter who the little people are.
At my time as a bull, it's not necessarily that I've discovered anything that I can point to. I mean, I've definitely seen corruption in Arathia, and I've seen corruption in the Burgomasters. Or it's the Eventide Church. There's corruption there. There's corruption in the lesser guilds. There's corruption anywhere you go. I mean, even in the wilds. I can preach how much I love Ponte and how Ponte could have changed much of Zabroria, but it's ruins now. There are still problems in places like the Russet Waste or even south of here. There's issues where there will always be issues, but the wilds used to be lush, and over my time of 300 some years, I have seen the green slowly go to the cragged lands you see now, and I can tell you it's happening in the Burg. And then once it goes to the Burg, all we have left is the Grove, and then the all-powerful Dawnwood. It's a corruption that is slowly taking over from out in.
Are you sure it's not in draining the out?
I mean,
Like a root
well, I
system?
mean that's possible, but I'm saying more like in a metaphorical way. It's like sucking dry and it's starting at the out, going. Do you know what I mean?
I think circling back to the wish, what we want to do is be able to use this wish to advantage us in the best way that we possibly can. I don't think that using it for the sake of just using a wish would be silly. I think we have a big goal in mind.
When you say us, Rush interrupts.
Wash audibly sighs.
What do Rush and Willow think about this?
Yeah, if you sigh, Rush look over at you and just kind of shake his head. Do you mean us, or do you mean us? Pointing at us pointing around the room, or us pointing at the Fated Fates present?
I mean, I meant everyone in this room. I think we all have the same goal. We all want to. I think we're all working towards the same objective, or I would like to, at least. But whatever. I mean, if whoever has an idea for the diamond, whatever we can do to make it work for our benefit would be, I think, the best idea.
Here's what I'd say. As you see this woman that Finley was talking to, she's quite tall. She's about 6'7". I described her last time, but she has kind of deep red hair and scars on her face. It is Rush's mama, Kryn. She kind of slicks. She has the really fucking hot lesbian vibes, the slicked back hair, the scars over her fucking face.
Yes.
And she kind of puts her hand. She kind of walks up, puts her hand on the table, that seemed almost clawish, and she's like, here's what I'd say. I don't think that anybody should be making any wishes. And she probably looks honestly first at you, Finley, and then she doesn't know too much about the Fated Fates, but kind of looks over at probably Issa next, looks around and says any wishes about undoing things of the past just yet.
Dead eyes, fucking Finley.
Probably also looks at Terrence too.
Also, undoing wishes of events of the past could be complicated.
Exactly.
And we never know how that's going to affect current day.
Right. Though I do think you're right about Arathia. We don't want her having more ideas.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't hey, let's do this, but trying to gauge ideas that might be able to be fine-tuned into something that would work. What if we could do a zone of truth type thing over the Burg to assist with getting rid of that corruption?
That would affect us when we're there too, yes?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's not a horrible idea, says Fiara, but I just don't know how long it would last.
Yeah.
It's an interesting starting point, though.
Long enough to put a god away, I guess, in comparison.
Yeah, but I would say that
I don't know how that translates with time.
If it's powerful enough to put a
yeah.
god.
I would hope for the best, but
It's also a large city.
it's a large-scale plan that has benefit to it, but once the timing of it is done, it's just going to happen again, because corruption's not something you can fix in an instant. It's something that people have to work together for over time.
We'd also need to know who we're looking for. And Rush, like, doesn't meet your eyes, but does that shrug of, like, I acknowledge what you said. Willow pats his back.
It's another issue of, I think a zone of truth over an entire city would cause therein more problems for people who don't need those problems.
Why don't people just be honest, says Cazamir.
If we're trying to find the corruption, I know you mentioned Arathia already. We know that she, as the Onyx Obscurity, they have tabs on, like, everyone. If anyone's hiding secrets, it's gonna be her.
Plus, I think that a certain secret got out about a certain god of suffering being tied to Arathia. That would cause a little bit more of a panic than is needed.
I feel like panic on that is worth it.
Seems valid, yes. We could also get whatever answers we want to out of Seraphima.
Yeah.
Well, Codex, you were talking to Lord Kess, at the banquet, weren't you?
What? You were talking to the god of suffering, sorrow, and pain?
Yeah, we danced.
Yes, she has this thing for dangerous people.
Right. She, like, sits up in her chair. Yeah, we actually danced for a while.
Okay, how did that go? Says Fiara, like, with, like, a kind of, like,
He was relatively chill for what he's about, you know what I mean? He wasn't creepy or anything. I mean, a little bit, but, I found out that, yeah, like, he's tethered to Arathia, and he's not super happy about it, and he didn't really give the vibes that he would do anything to interfere with anybody fucking with her unless we were trying to kill her. You know what I mean? Because if she dies, he dies.
They're basically tethered to each other, says Cazamir.
Yeah. Right. But like, he wasn't, like, I don't think, it's hard to gauge, but I don't think, like, anything she can't, like, read his mind or anything weird like that, as far as I can tell. But, he does want to not be chained to her anymore, and I told him I would try and figure it out. And right now, I'm operating on the assumption that maybe the binding is functioning kind of like how they are bound to the diamonds, and maybe it could be broken in the same way. That's beside the point. He told me a lot of other weird shit, but that doesn't really matter right now. And he also, I mean, it's just weird. He did say that Zaharis is now in charge of all the stuff I think that the Trespasser gods were in charge of, even though, like, because now they're gone. So maybe that's what's making, like, Zaharis kind of funky.
That would make sense, yeah. Which would also give reason for why we wouldn't be able to just wish Zaharis into a diamond at this point. He's too powerful. Issa and I have talked about that before.
If Zaharis is now in, like, taking the place of all of the other gods that were Trespasser gods, and, for example, pain and suffering, since Zabaria itself is, like, a holy land, do you think, like, that connection to Zaharis and the fact that he is holding on to things like pain and suffering, desire, all of these other... Do you think that has something to do with the corruption? Like, because he is also holding all these mantles, now the people in Zabaria have more power, or have, like, power that is influenced by these other...
I mean, I could be wrong, but I would say no, says Cazamir. Cazamir kind of continues saying, do you have gods who have, like, for example, gesturing to the diamond on the table, this diamond is to the god of weather and arcane. Those aren't they do go hand in hand, but if he had clerics of the arcane and clerics of weather, they don't necessarily have to connect.
But people can. Like, you can you be attuned to both as, like, a worshipper of?
You can, but I don't see... That wouldn't necessarily cause any... I don't think it would cause corruption in the way that you're thinking.
Are you trying to say maybe because he has so many mantles that he's taken, or they've taken, I don't know.
He's taken.
Yeah. That his observation over his followers is a little lax since he's so...
Because it depends on the teachings. If the teachings are the same as what they've always been for light and or... I don't really know too much about the Zaharis religion other than light, but stuff like that, it's the power that you get through the teaching of how you worship the said god.
Yeah. Well, I meant more that if someone corrupt is worshipping Zaharis and they want to tap into maybe one of the other mantles that he's holding up...
Well, then they would just tap into the other mantles and they would be that kind of cleric or paladin or whatever user of that divine magic.
Yeah. I just didn't know if maybe because of that influence it would spread out.
Right.
It's a good theory.
I don't think it much is influenced by who's the boss of what they're tapping into. I just think it's if they're going to tap into it, they're going to tap into it regardless. Corruption is not just a human aspect, but you don't have to be influenced to be corrupted. If you're going to be corrupted, you're going to be
Listen,
corrupted.
I can say a lot about the Eventide religion in Zabroria, but I think these people are zealots in their own right of their belief of the light. I don't think they need to be part of sorrow, suffering, despair, desire, whether arcane, anger, or hatred to be corrupt with their following of the light. True. Corruption can come in many different forms.
Right. I think the idea of eventually using a wish to create a zone of truth or what have you to oust the root of corruption as it currently stands is a meritable thought. I don't think it would be great right now, because what happens if we do that, and what is a woman without her secrets, woman being Arathia? I dare say I shudder to think of what she would do when she had nothing left. Because she is a terrifying woman, and the second that she sensed she didn't have Sham anymore, her neck cracked so fast it would have broken on a normal person.
Also, the thing about Zabroria and the Berg in itself is you don't have to be a cleric to be who. I don't think my suspects are only members of the Eventide Church.
Yeah.
The Septum benefits from the light of Zaharis and Zabroria and the Dawnwood. A lot of Zabroria benefits from the Dawnwood, which is directly tied to Zaharis. So there could be. You don't have to be an acolyte of Zaharis to be benefiting from the power that Zaharis has over this land and the sun has over this land. Though I'm not saying, of course, I still suspect Eventide as well, but anyone's fair game in Zabroria.
Why not use this wish to start setting up some kind of infrastructure for us to gain more information on potentially who are the big players in here?
Well, the biggest connection we had before was me.
Why don't we just make another connection we know? I know I mentioned it last night when we were talking. There's an empty seat for a bull, and there's a very capable woman that you all know.
Maud, drunk off her ass, is like, please, I hope they do nothing stupid.
I hope I don't get put into a position of power.
I really like being in the shadows.
Have we ever tested multiple wishes at the same time?
Connie did.
She wished two things at the same time?
Well,
with two different diamonds?
No. When we were fighting Balthazar, she managed to make two things happen at the same time because of the way she worded her wish. She wished for you and Codex to stand back up, as well as get the sun to shine again.
I get that, but, I mean, each individual wish has a certain amount of power. Could we almost chain multiple diamonds for a bigger effect?
Good theory.
Cazamir kind of like, sighed, and Casamir's like, I don't know, but the other thing is, I don't think we should keep diamonds longer than we need to. Because being in its form currently causes Zaharis to be in charge of something. The Fairfather now has more power because I guess he's the one, from what Kesak says, the Shadowed Fear says, is taking over what is lacking in the Department of Gods. And Cazamir like shrugs. So the more time that the diamonds are not undone, the more power Zaharis has. Therefore, the more power the Dawnwood and the people of Zabroria have in whatever respects they're using them, is the theory.
I mean, they've been in diamonds for how long already?
Hundreds of years.
Months?
Yes.
And could it be effective if we don't use them right away and get rid of all of the mantles like all at once, and then try and trap Zaharis while he's reeling from this sudden weight lifted off of him?
If we
It would be a
focus that,
fucking scary room with all those diamonds anytime.
Yeah.
Talk about putting targets on our backs.
right? If
That's
we hoard
another
that much power in one spot, wouldn't it be easier to notice it?
Very much so. Is there a safe place we can keep this hidden in another realm, dimension, any of that, where it won't be discovered very easily like it was before?
Fiara, I don't know. I mean, we could certainly try. As then you see what looks like red text kind of come through the hall and land onto the table, and it says, "Someone else will notice." Codex and Wash, you will recognize this as Balthazar's script.
Yeah, it's silly Simon's telesending.
So this guy can just... so he's not locked up.
Fiara's like, what the fuck?
Do you think, I feel like we should, why don't we ask Balthazar what he thinks?
Oh yeah, last night, Codex and Shay were talking with Balthazar's sister. Fiara's like, what? What? Did he talk?
He did?
Yeah, it was super easy. He just said, hey, what's up? And then we talked for like an hour and a half.
We weren't interrogating him, we were just talking.
Yeah, he's really sad.
He is. I offered to kill him because he wanted that, but not yet.
Fiara's like, her face is like,
Shay, what the fuck?
I think you should bring him in here and he could be part of the brainstorming session, because I feel like between you and him both working with Arathia and both getting played by her, I feel like it might be helpful for you guys to compare notes on what she shared with both of you. But also, if we are going to use the wish, I still feel like it might be worthwhile getting some kind of listening or visual in places that Arathia or Lady Seraphima kind of function, because they both seem like important enough to be horrible and also be a big problem. And if we get vision where they're having important meetings or having discussions, you will get more information and potentially more names.
She probably puts her hand up, just pause for 1 second.
Right.
Kryn and Cazamir, can you get Balthazar? And Kryn kind of just gets up in size and starts walking over to Cazamir, who just kind of looks over and nods and then just walks away.
Bring that sad motherfucker in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's bring the mood down.
About 5 minutes pass until you see Balthazar kind of being ushered in by the two of them. When he walks in, he looks like he has these tight shackles on his ankles and his wrists, and his hands are in what look like metal, I don't want to say gloves, but metal coverings. As he kind of walks in, and he looks not good, you guys.
Yes.
He kind of sits in one of these kind of chairs. Someone will notice. And he kind of looks up with a really shit smile.
That's what you sound like?
Fiara just kind of sighs and kind of probably grabs her, rubs her temples for a second. What do you mean someone will notice? Well, there's already been wishes happening without diamonds, so I'm pretty sure the people who have been making wishes without diamonds might start to notice that there are diamonds. Don't you think? And Fiara's like, what are you talking about? He kind of looks up, and if anybody makes eye contact with Balthazar, it is creepy and weird, and he's smiling at the Fated Fates when he looks at you. Not Finley.
Codex and Shade.
The Fated Fates he knows. Did you not tell my sister about the goblet?
No, we didn't.
I didn't.
No, they told me.
I assumed that you and Kaz grabbed it after the college.
No, I did. What does that have to do with anything? That we assumed that was connected with the diamonds, like it did when Ponte fell. Well, I'm telling you, it doesn't. But he had a diamond when he made that wish. Balthazar just kind of smugly smiles and shrugs.
Are there other artifacts that people are making wishes with?
Who knows? I know that... kind of chuckles. I guess I'll be nice. Most I can tell you is the chalice that I got. I don't know much about it. There's not much about it that I could find anywhere. But with enough blood, I can make a wish. So...
Where did you get it? The goblet?
Arathia.
Yes.
I always wanted it to be snow.
Yes, I got it from Arathia. And you, like Fiara just, slams her, fucking fist onto the fucking table, pissed off. But I did get whisper that, the only diamonds left are those that are tied to the gods. I only heard about that right before you all defeated me. So not much I could really do with that information to find out more after being, chained. But Arathia did tell me. It was said that blood was used as the new diamonds.
She always was a little monster.
Blood is the new diamond.
I'm just assuming that whatever's behind it probably has noticed that wishes are being made with not their blood.
True.
So it probably wouldn't be a good idea to keep them around longer than we need to, even if it's just a month.
Even using it as a wish, though, they'll notice. Having it, not having it, using it for some sort of purpose, they are noticed, seems to be the bottom line here. So we have a target on us, whether we like it or not. But now that we're in the spotlight, it will be harder for them to take us out, if they so intend.
Depending on who they are.
King Gil already said, the higher you get, the easier it is to take you out with the beast.
I was about to bring that up, yeah.
Why don't you just wish the beast to be tethered to someone then?
Do we want it to be tethered?
Well, I mean, wish for someone to have control of the beast. Like, you guys have your dogs.
Oh.
I wouldn't mind some vicious beasts taking out our enemies for us, but it might be a little unhinged.
I kind of look over it. I try to look at Rush.
Yeah,
subtly.
Rush is what the fuck? Rush is what the fuck?
I wouldn't necessarily say that the Martyrs have dogs. I would say that...
Wait, she was not talking about Rush. The Displacer Beast!
Hey, this is deserved, because when Rush said, quiet your pet, you were like, because I'm a rabbit? And he's like, no, because you're barking the same things he is. The Cower and Israel are not in the room, so Rush is like, what the fuck? And Cypress is somewhere, so...
God, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about their, Cower and stuff.
I wouldn't necessarily call them dogs, but that's just a personal thing.
I thought they were more like friends, but alright.
It's
like Cinnamon. Cinnamon's your friend, no?
Right, Cinnamon is my friend, but if you call him a dog, I will say that is correct. He is a quacky little boy, but I wouldn't say the blood beast.
Alright, diamond on table, what are we fucking doing?
She wants to pet Cinnamon again.
You kind of do a little walt, and you can do one little stroke, you'd be like, walt back.
Yes. They will give little scritches all the time.
He sits on the diamond.
He hits its egg
He makes
now.
a wish.
He turns into an eldritch horror. And we're like...
So that's who you were, Cinnamon?
If we want to prevent other people from finding diamonds, because he said they're starting to realize, wouldn't it be better if we could find them and use them as fast as possible?
What if we just wished we had all the diamonds?
I was going to say, what if we wished we knew where all the diamonds were, or something of that sort?
I'm sure whoever created these would have thought of that failsafe when they created them. Yeah. I do like the simplification of it, but this is also a grand god that tied these beings to these diamonds. I think they might have thought of that.
Right.
And also, how they've stayed so hidden.
Do we know? I know every diamond has a little bit of a contingency on how you have to operate with it. Do we know any Did you talk to the little guy in there?
No, they did not call to myself nor Willow. We just grabbed it and put it in a bag. Also, we have that kind of ability. You should know that.
Well, yeah, but I know you can just do that, but...
Hey, Terrence, you want to give that a go?
Should we see if he calls to anybody?
Rush definitely what the fuck?
Should we see if he calls to anybody in particular? They can maybe learn something about it. No one wants to make a blind wish and things go zappy zappy.
I love that idea.
I doubt he's calling to anyone if we're all just sitting here and no one's heard anything, right?
Corinne puts her hand on his shoulder. That's also because of us. Yeah, it's actually that thing we were trying to do last time, but Rush looks at the faded face.
Someone interfered.
Right. I think
some buddies
once told me the word.
I think regardless, this diamond is a little bit It's not to be mean to the person who's in there. It's weather and the arcane. It's not like...
So energy in its most purest. Yeah, that's safe.
Yes, I love to be struck by lightning constantly. So fun.
We're indoors. We could just think of something.
I wonder if he knows Yofet. I could go talk to him.
Do you know Yofet?
I don't think any of us should be talking to any god in a diamond, so...
According to Kessak, Yofet might be my mom or something. I don't know.
What?
Fiara's like... Balthazar just like cracks his neck and looks up at you and starts smiling. Like...
I thought you had two fathers.
I do. But remember how I was adopted?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. According to Kessak, we might be... She, like, looks awkwardly at everyone. We might be, like, two halves of one Hexleap, and then she looks over at Balthazar and then immediately looks away. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is I could go talk to this god if we need to talk to him. I've talked to a couple now. It's not that big of a deal, it seems.
Do we know what a hexaleap is here? Does anyone want to inform me?
No, we did not. That is one thing. The only one who knows is Issa and Balthazar.
Balthazar is smiling from ear to ear.
Oh, I know a little bit.
Does someone want to explain to the group what a heckle-eep is?
Yes, I would like to know too, especially if it's concerning a god. Yes, as your mother.
Balthazar like just kind of like gestures to you with the bound hands, unless you want me to explain it.
Well, I could tell you what Kessak said, because you were kind of wrong, but also kind of right. Well, not about the Hexaleap thing, just the fact that...
I said it was a theory.
You know, you and Kaz are far more similar than you think.
Feels like me. I say theories. Like,
I say theory. I think we all say theory.
No, so a Hexaleap, according to Kessak and also Balthazar, it was like this thing made by Yofet to basically skip across the world and create life. So like animals, plants, whatever.
It's like a blueprint. Like a blueprint of...
creation?
Almost. And as it skipped like a stone over water, it would make that animal, but changed for every skip until it pitted out into nothing.
But they're still here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
My theory was a Hexaleap was inside of you, but now the greater god of suffering, despair, and sorrow is saying that you are a Hexaleap? Or half of one with your brother?
Yeah.
So you were halted at a point.
And torn in half. And yet no memory of any of these things.
And made, well, I guess you could say they were mortal, but made mortal.
True.
Interesting.
Yeah, so... And Kessak seemed to imply that we could go back to whole or something, which I feel like might be a bad idea, but I don't know. And he probably knows a lot more than what he said, but he is the god of pain and suffering and stuff, and this is scary, so I could see why he doesn't want to tell me everything.
Did he seem like he was lying to you, says Fiara?
Not really, I don't know why he'd lie.
That's fair.
As Codex is saying this, Shay's gonna put her arm, like, kind of on her shoulder and, like, rub her back a bit if she's okay with it, because she can see how stressed out Codex is.
She's no.
Nah.
No, she's fine. She honestly looks way more chill than normal, probably. And she's just kind of like, it's very much like, yeah, this might as well happen, like, whatever.
Well, if this diamond is energy in its truest form, not make Codex into the Hexaleap again, but could we help the process of that energy being something she can do again?
It would kill her.
It seems a little too powerful.
The Hexaleaps aren't meant to stay. Well, they were never meant to stay. Casamir's eyes is also, like, fixated on you just because Cazamir was very, like, knowledge. Like,
knowledge! We don't have to waste a wish on, like, getting me magic or anything. I'm good.
Oh, I thought the point was to waste the wishes so nobody could.
Listen, at this point, should we just wish him to be behind the Divine Gate?
Just to get it out of here?
After giving us some information.
Wish to scry, have a permanent scry on fucking Arathia, or Lady Seraphima, or anybody that you want to get information on.
My only other suggestion is maybe we get Lori back, but that might be a little bit too much of a...
I don't know who this person is, so I'm going to go with Codex's theory as well, because I would love to have some more eyes, some more knowledge on whatever is seeming to corrupt the city. and cause so much harm to so many.
If we do the scry option, we might see Lori.
Who is Lori?
But if we do a scrying option, that also... I'll get to that in a second. That also leads to her being able to see it. Also, she has a god tied to her. I'm sure he can nullify a scry's effects.
That's true.
Hang on. Are you trying to tell me whoever this Lori person is Arathia?
No.
Oh, absolutely.
No.
Okay.
Lori is Sham's older sister.
We all went to the burg together, and then Lori went missing.
Sham is a martyr of Ponte.
I see.
But
Yeah, all of us are like,
The pieces.
yeah.
Cazamir kind of looks at Ethan and says, "Did you not tell them what we've discussed?"
I did tell them that Sham was Arathia.
Sham wasn't Arathia. Sham was being puppeted by Arathia.
That's fixed now?
Yeah, Cinnamon took it off and it broke, and then I mended it to make it look like it was real, but the magic's not in there, and then he's just really sad.
She's scritched.
Fiara kind of like ignores all of that. Fiara explains and then kind of like fixates back on Codex. I like your idea. I worry about it being noticed. And maybe it wouldn't because it's a diamond. I'm not saying I'm unwilling to take the risk because it is a good risk, but what if we wished for something else to have eyes on? And she does quotations. What if there's a way that we could make it that somebody or all of you can, I don't know, this sounds stupid, but within a certain range, maybe you can feel the pull of a diamond.
Like a magnet.
Right.
Like a dowsing rod.
I do like that idea.
I just fear that what we look at will look at us back.
Option, the diamond sense.
It's safe, it's easy, and it gets the job.
And then we can have this conversation about other wishes that could be more helpful the more we can find information in between the diamonds, and then when we find one, we can make more and more.
Or we could do it on Seraphina. Maybe Seraphina will be able to see it. Balthazar then chuckles.
Why are you laughing?
Probably because she could see it.
She seems not quite as scary as Arathia, but also
she's she also has something that can convert blood into wish. So.
And what is that?
I don't know. I just know she knows how to do it as well.
Unsurprised, really.
Something the Rousseaus seem to be able to do. Maybe you should talk to your... Wasn't there a fifth of you?
Oh, yeah,
or
she's
sixth?
Unconscious in there right now. We'll get to that later. But I will ask her about that, because that is interesting information.
I think the diamond sense might be the safest for now. If we find out more information along the way about the two people that we want more information on, then we might be able to futz more about some ideas.
We can make bigger risks when we know the rewards will be greater.
And you're sure you want it on yourself, says Willow? I'm assuming whoever makes the wish, it's not going to be on all of you, it's going to be on one of you, is my assumption.
We could have made it on
sleeping
all of us.
Connie. No, okay.
For real, though.
Which one of us best resisted each diamond?
I did.
Yeah, Terrence points directly at Shay.
Alright.
She's sitting there crossed. I was just like, shit. Is there a way that we can also learn how to nullify their effects from you?
It's something... The ill claws have this ability. It's a thing that, with our pack, we know how to. It's nullifying the effects of the divine.
So it's not something you could write down on a scroll for us to use?
Unfortunately not. It's... Unless you'd like to become an ill claw.
I don't
Or
think
the
I quite
perks.
have it. Yeah, for real.
Hold on, that would be kind of cool, though.
The problem is less that we three are ill claws, the only ones remaining, part of the Martyrs, but not all ill claws are Martyrs of Ponte.
I see.
And it'd be more beneficial for you to learn from the actual ill claws, but they aren't necessarily so gung-ho as the Martyrs are in our endeavors. Luckily, Kryn just like, oh. Kryn's
I zoned out.
yeah. Kryn
Just
obviously
disassociating in the corner.
Kryn obviously helped teach Rush before they left, and my father and myself. But yeah.
Right, fine. You can do it to me.
Wait, if the sense is just to know where they're at, then you could sneak into them without having it, but what happens if you can't resist one and something happens and we lose it?
Well,
It's
I
not
would
like they
inform
run
you.
away.
No, what happens if we lose Shay and we lose the sense?
I was gonna say, wouldn't it be best to do it on whoever is the easiest to subdue out of all of us?
You can either do it on the person who's easiest to subdue, or you can do it on somebody who has no intention of interacting with the diamond.
Cinnamon walks up to the table.
Is already sitting on it.
Now, wait a damn minute. If we put it on Cinnamon, there's no way. Cinnamon can't make a wish.
I don't ever want Cinnamon to be in danger.
Well, Cinnamon will never be in danger.
If he finds a diamond.
Well, if Cinnamon finds a diamond, then you guys interact with the diamond. Cinnamon's still safe. He just knows where it is.
That's
Are we
actually
sure it
not
won't
a bad
affect him?
point.
I don't want to hinge our entire operation around a duck, no offense.
Well, I do find offense in that. Cinnamon's a very capable young boy.
That's fine, but it's a duck.
He's
And
not
cannot
just a duck.
communicate with us well.
Once you get to know him, he's very transparent.
I never.
I don't
Casimir
speak duck.
Casimir goes like, I never realized Wash doesn't know what a familiar is.
He's not a regular duck. You think he's real? Well,
Can
you're real.
Can
Cinnamon.
he speak
Cinnamon's
words
so
to
bad.
me?
Not to you, but maybe I'm picking up your accent.
All right,
But
so
maybe to him.
we focus everything around something that only one of us can communicate with.
I mean, I can talk to Cinnamon too if you just like once a day, if you just want to tell me like a time, and then like I could just ask him, hey, how's it going? But like I don't know Cinnamon, and I don't trust Cinnamon. I don't.
Why don't we link it to...
Cinnamon's beak goes.
Cinnamon is hurt.
Shay holds him close.
Finley's just gonna grab Cinnamon and just like,
Yes.
Now, Cinnamon, do not worry. This is nothing against you. They're just scared of things they don't understand.
Right, this is getting far more complicated. How about we link this ability to an inanimate object that can't run away but can be held, and the knowledge can be input in our brains somehow with it?
What if
Can
it
you
gets
talk to
stolen?
inanimate objects?
We can bind it to one of us.
I mean, but it's with here. I don't want to say give it to Cinnamon, not because I don't like Cinnamon, but I understand your concerns. But Cinnamon can't die,
Oh.
and Cinnamon's permanently linked to Finley.
Forever.
It's his.
It's
Yes.
not familiar. It's
I mean, unless Finley dies
But familiars can often die. And no for Cinnamon?
and be brought back.
he's a bit of a complicated thing. He's a bunch of familiars.
But he's one duck.
He's one duck.
That's the name of the episode. He's one dog.
They'd be like, you're one woman.
Yes.
I get that.
But I have two boobs.
If something happens to Finley, then
Well, then you're just gonna have to hope that Finley's okay, and you all have to stick with Finley.
If something happens to Shay, the same thing. Something happens to Terrence, the same thing. Something happens to you, the same thing.
Also, people use hunting dogs all the time. They point at what you're trying to find, and then you go. The dog doesn't hunt the thing.
I mean,
you're
we could do
finding.
it to V2 as well, but we should wait for Connie then. Is V2 invulnerable?
No.
more
More flashbacks to V2 being broken in
V2's
half.
probably like it's probably in the room. V2's like
Yeah, I was
We just
thinking
want
about
you to be
V2.
safe, buddy.
Yeah.
V2 probably like, comes near Shay to get a pet.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll pat, we'll scritch behind the ear.
I think a permanent feature that will come back if broken, in the same sense that it left, is a wonderful idea, and I have very little chance of dying.
you do.
Well, I'm 60 years old and I haven't died yet, so. And I
Pretty
have
good
a
odds.
really
Mention
good
that.
chance of dying.
You haven't traveled with us all that.
My mom blew up our whole city and I'm here.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
This is town.
Well, when you're little.
Balthazar says that.
I don't think having
I know.
cinnamon is a bad idea.
But that also does mean Cinnamon and you will both be in danger.
Even
Have you
more
ever-
so than traveling with us.
Have you ever, you've never lost Cinnamon and recasted him, recasted to have him back. Have you ever tried it?
Well, I would never let Cinnamon die, but if he ever did, I would do it. Yeah. It's not a hard thing to do. As long as I'm alive, Cinnamon's alive.
She's gonna go over and crouch. I mean, she doesn't have to crouch because you're holding Cinnamon. It's chest level, and she's definitely boob level for you. So she's looking at your
Finally.
titties. I know. Finally, Shay gets to look at some other tits. Cinnamon, are you all right with this?
Pans to the camera.
Shrugs.
It would be an honor.
You have my tail.
I'd love to.
All right.
See, Shay can understand cinnamon just fine. You have to be willing and open.
You
Still
have
a
to
little
assume you
chin
know
scratch.
what it's saying.
But it's basically the equivalent of having an object that can communicate. Like, if we wanted to get, like, a dial that showed us where it is, we wouldn't be... That could be stolen. This can't be... Cinnamon cannot be stolen.
This duck could change the world.
This cinnamon can't be stolen. Cinnamon can't die unless Finley dies, and we don't want Finley to die. And it wouldn't also involve any of us, like, needing to get close until we know where one is.
Yes,
I don't have to get close. Cinnamon can
Cinnamon-
go.
we don't all have to agree on this.
That's true. We don't all have to agree, but I would prefer not to silence the voice of other persons.
I think the final decision should lie with the people who found the diamond.
Willow and Rush look at each other like,
They both Jim shrug.
Yeah.
If they look over at Cinnamon, Cinnamon's just going,
Rush is like, oh my god. If I don't have any wishes I necessarily want to make, and I'm not as dramatic as the rest of you, so that's fine. Willow goes, Willow like pats Rush's back, says, "You tried." Like it's like I said like Rush needs the fucking like. Who else did I say needs this as well? The fucking
the emotional like
Capaldi
flashcards.
thing. Yeah, I'm so sorry that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that this happened to you. This is a great disaster, and I do feel for you. Okay. Is this helping?
Willow just kind of says, "We brought this to the table. You know, it's at your discretion, as long as Miss agrees as well." Fiara, like, again, I don't want this to be something that I make the decision for. I think it's best that we all make an autonomous choice.
Issa, Codex, do you have any thoughts?
Should we wait for Cornelia?
I think it might be a while until she feels up to making decisions on anything, so we may as well get it done now.
I gave my thoughts of what we should use it for, but if we want to do diamond detection, I guess that's fine.
I'm sorry if it sounded like I feel like there might be risks in it. I'm not trying to shoot it down.
No, I mean, there's risks in all of it. I mean, even having it here, if someone can sense it, if Kessak and all the other gods that are already out and about can sense where it is, they already know where you are, so.
True. I've already been burned and I'm afraid of getting burned again by that.
Yeah, I get it.
But I do think having eyes on something might be good, you know?
Plus, if it's a diamond, you can just get another diamond, then put eyes on something.
That's what I was thinking.
We put Google eyes everywhere.
Yes.
For everything everywhere all at once.
God, can we please?
I'm gonna cry. I think this is a good first step to making this, like, doing the eyes on Arathia something, but now we have, like, the opportunity to get to more diamonds to be able to make those higher risk wishes. Because now we'll have a tracking device to get to where they are.
True.
Not a tracking device, but you know what I mean.
And we do know that the only diamonds remaining, like you said, are the ones attached to gods, yes?
Balthazar kind of like, yes. Arathia's confirmed it. And she might be a snivy little thieving and dishonest cunt. But she does know things. And when she knows things, she knows them fully well.
Right, so we turn Cinnamon into a god detector. It's a big role for a little guy, but he can do it.
Does that sound good, Codex? Says Fiara.
Oh, it should not be. Sure, whatever.
Is there some way that Cinnamon can communicate to you what he is detecting so we don't have to run into that issue?
It'd be dependent on the power he's given.
It all depends on the word of the wish.
Correct.
And the interpretation of said diamond.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which, I'm so nervous. I mean, if he gets struck by lightning, he gets struck by lightning. It's happened twice.
Maybe he also gets weather powers.
I mean, already.
Cazamir like squints and like for some reason I just imagine this whole time like everyone's stagnant. Cazamir just keeps circling the room.
Like a creep, just like.
Like, yeah.
Does anybody have any good ideas for the wording of the wish to make sure that it...
Also, we have to work on the wording of the diamond in particular, because there are other diamonds that exist.
Well, the Dawnwood Diamonds. Just do the Dawnwood Diamonds.
Can we just wish that Cinnamon can detect Dawnwood Diamonds?
Wah.
And danger.
Wah.
Yeah.
I think the most important vote in this is Cinnamon's comfortableness with it and his confidence in it.
Agreed.
Ruffles his feather and kind of flaps his wings.
And he goes and sits on it like an egg.
What does that mean?
It means good things, obviously. Wash, have you ever interacted with animals in your life?
Not with a fucking duck.
What do you have against
Cinnamon
ducks
is not just a
specifically?
duck.
You've never seen a duck before?
I haven't interacted with a duck. Oh my
This is
god.
kind of a first step as any. We can make more wishes later once we find the other diamonds.
Right.
It's no use in making a wish and then being at square one again to try and find other diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
So wording on the wish.
Wording on the wish.
To wish that
Cinnamon could detect Dawnwood Diamonds.
And convey this to us in a manner of Cinnamon's comfort.
That we understand.
Well, that goes without saying, because Cinnamon's so comfortable speaking to people.
It's true.
Just not in the language that we can perceive.
He's a... Well,
Shay gives him a little pet.
He is a familiar, so he does speak to me in a language, and I could just simply repeat it.
I will tell you, Finley.
Please.
So wording.
Word.
Getting off
The
topic.
duck, not the duck. We wish that Cinnamon could communicate. I didn't mean it. We wish that Cinnamon can detect the Dawnwood Diamonds and
I sense it.
And communicate their
Master,
location.
Master, I found it. Quick.
I'll wish for
there was more than that.
Cinnamon to be able to accurately detect the Dawnwood Diamonds, because that would encompass everything. He'd be able to be like, it is here, and then we could go.
And communicate to us in a way we understand.
Finley's just gonna, like, reach towards the diamond. Is everybody comfortable if I make this wish?
Are you comfortable with the wording? And Cinnamon, you're sure you're alright with this?
Nods.
Cute.
Okay. I wish for Cinnamon to be able to accurately detect the presence of Dawnwood Diamonds and be able to communicate with us the direction and location of them.
You watch as like the diamond kind of like shatters and explodes, and like you just see like this like blue, almost like dark indigo cloak go over Cinnamon, who goes like it just disappears in like a second, but his back is like
You alright, Cinnamon?
sneezes.
Oh.
Do you feel alright, buddy?
Sounds like Cinnamon.
Cinnamon got to see Aether not. Like, this big guy was like, "You have freed me." And Cinnamon's like,
Yeah.
I just like little white duck like, "You have saved me, Cinnamon."
My duck saved God.
You get one of them.
Actually, hold on. For the fun of it, you're going to experience this.
Yeah.
You probably like see Cinnamon get taken, and then you're like, you see through Cinnamon's eyes, like almost like a third person perspective of like this little duck and this huge giant like almost like blue. The best way to describe it is it looks like he's like dressed like a DM in a blue cloak, where all it looks like from the inside are just like maybe two white piercing eyes that look like they're probably just like arcane energies that kind of like float, and this long blue cloak that just hits the ground, surrounded by clouds and lightning and everything around. And Cinnamon's just like, you watch as like this being kind of like, a little creature has saved me. My penance is over. As you watch two like out of the cloak that just looks like this body, two like arms start to outreach, and then from the cloak, two hands that look like they're wearing deep red gloves, almost like full finger, like pleather red gloves. Your wish has brought back magic, as it should be in the world. And Cinnamon's like shaking, like,
Oh, baby boy.
and you just watch as like it puts down its hand, he puts down his hands. This god, the Boltmaster, as Cinnamon like it gestures for Cinnamon to like jump on the hands, and Cinnamon's like, inching forward, but like leaning over to like check it out, and kind of like waddles very hesitantly on.
Oh, baby.
As like the Boltmaster lifts Cinnamon up, and Cinnamon's like, "Rah!" It's being moved up. As this god kind of like looks at Cinnamon closer now, and Cinnamon's like, I will do better than I had before. Let them all know. And Cinnamon's like, and then just like, thank you. And then as Cinnamon like in that Cinnamon instant goes, like it was gone, and then a little fuzzles.
Are you okay, little dude?
Kind of like ruffles. Deadpans in his spine.
No.
You were a little shaken up in there, buddy. You saw God.
Did you see a god?
He lifted my duck off the ground.
Oh, you let him touch you.
Well, it was a god. It wasn't much of like a, thank you for the choice. It was more of like a god's hands are in front of me. I'm going to have to get in the hands.
True enough. Did he hurt you?
Cinnamon like turns over to the office camera. Just kind of like steps off and then like walks over to V2 and just sits.
Aww.
Well,
did it work? Says Fiara.
It sure did work. He said that he'll do better than he did before.
Cinnamon?
The god.
No, I'm asking, did it work? Did the wish work? Can he detect diamonds now?
Oh, Cinnamon? Can you detect a diamond?
Blinks a lot.
He's buffering.
Right, I'm gonna go have a cigarette now. Cool.
Yeah, Cinnamon is just gonna sit there for a bit.
He's a little bit shaken up, but I'm sure it did work because the diamond is also gone.
That I believe.
Okay, well...
I would also believe it because I watched it disintegrate.
And then you saw...
I did see God. He said your
a
wish.
god.
Well, yeah, I saw a god.
Yes.
It's very difficult to imagine.
That's so, yes.
Right. He had red gloves, though. That's fun.
Did he say anything aside from I'll do better?
He said magic will be as it should be in the world.
You said that magic is supposed to be... It's... What did you say?
Well, the Bolt Master said that magic will be as it should be in the world again.
Does that mean I'm gonna die?
Well, you're still here, aren't you?
It's like I think yours is like a different.
I think everybody...
You're from a different god.
You're not there.
You're not there. Shut up, Andrew.
You wanted to leave. Cazamir probably says, I'm assuming it's just because he's now taking over the job that he and the responsibilities he's supposed to have from the Fair Father.
Yeah, but if he's fixing all the magic and I'm...
I don't think he's fixing the magic. I think it's because he was a trespasser god, and then Zaharis had to do what he should have done, so I think he's just taking the reins.
And doing better, hopefully.
And I think your whole thing is connected to, like you said, Yofet, so that's probably a different connection.
Yeah, but if it's broken magic, it doesn't matter. Whatever.
The Hexaleap is divine magic, it's different, says Balthazar.
I roll my eyes.
Well, this guy just knows everything, huh? He didn't know how to not get beat.
He already wants to kill himself.
When you say that, Fiara and Cazamir will both look at you. You can leave, Finley.
Whoa.
Actually, the rest of you can leave as well. We have to talk to her brother.
Fiara, I need to talk to you.
Okay. Yeah, you've never seen Fiara get angry, and she just got pissed when you said that.
When I said that?
No, Finley.
Finley.
Oh, yeah, no, okay, that's what I thought.
Fiara's like, how dare you summon me for a fucking meeting? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I was like...
I've been in meetings all day. I've been on Zoom all day. It's not worth it.
This is my lunch break, you piece of shit.
Yeah, so I don't know where the rest of you guys go, but the meeting room is apparently off limits.
I gesture for Kaz to come as well.
There's a town outside the mines, right? Or
There
like
is,
an
yep.
abandoned town?
It's not abandoned, nope.
It's a full town.
She's gonna hop up there. Fuck it.
Okay.
Would anyone like to join me in the town outside?
Is
No?
it safe to do that?
Well, I mean, we're just travelers. I'm sure you have some clothes we can throw on that look more wilds-centric, no? Finley, Terrence, you want to...
Shay, I have overalls in my bag if you want to wear them. They'll probably fit you.
There. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll accompany you.
We'll walk around. I haven't had a chance to relax.
We can snag wash on the way out.
Yeah, let's get some Wilds clothes and go do a little Wildstown time.
She'll tag along with town squad. I feel like fresh air is good. Also, she's still in her tux. I need...
Alright, so Codex, Wash, are you going to join them, or are you smoking, sulking?
I figured we'd grab him on his way.
Right. So Wash, Codex, Terrence, Finley, and Shay will go to Vilmeyer. Yeah, people disperse to the meeting room, and it's just Fiara, Cazamir, and Balthazar. So Fiara just kind of goes back to just standing around the table.
And I look into my bag and I pull out the tome. I'm like, we snagged this when you left. I kind of slide it towards her, and there's like a bunch of post-it notes like sitting all in it. Like, Issa wouldn't let Connie write in it, so it was very much a learning experience. Like, you can't write in the margins. Like, this is a religious text, blah, blah, blah. But I just slide it to Fiara, and I'm just like, you can copy it. You can even rip a few pages out if you want, but I need this back.
I was going to say I can't. I thought you were giving it to me as a gift, and I was about to say I can't accept that because that means your head's going to be on the line.
Great, yeah, no, my dad's head would be on the line, so, well, mine too, but yeah, if you can copy it or whatever you need to do. Connie and I tried to translate some of it. We didn't really get that far. So.
How did you convince them to let you keep it, says Cazamir.
Just use my last name. So, yeah. Maud and I kind of did that while Connie and Shay talked the Volgard through what happened. So, and then my dad let us keep it for a little bit. Thanks, Dad. And now we brought it here, and you can do what you want with it. We figured you should have the chance to take what you needed from it.
Fiara's like eyebrows kind of furrow. Are you all right? You seem nervous.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of your brother, but keeping that in. So, also, I'm trusting you with this, Fiara. And I think that trust is well placed.
She kind of nods. Thank you. I'll see what I can do, and thank you. Yeah. She kind of like picks up the tome and starts to walk off just to put it away, and gives like this look to Cazamir to like watch Balthazar as she walks off.
Is it just Balthazar, Cazamir, and Issa right now? I don't really know what to say right now. You know what? Actually, I do have something to say. Balthazar.
He kind of like looks up to like meet your eye contact. He does not break it.
Do you know what happened to the souls of the people you had in your army?
I'm assuming they passed on.
Well, the sun was covered, so I don't think that happened.
He kind of like laughs. Why would that matter? Let me tell you a fact, not a theory. Your sun, your god, does not determine where souls go.
Okay, well, he's not really my god, technically.
Or what, a Balador?
Yeah.
Right.
So what does determine where the souls go, then?
A different god entirely. Surprised they don't teach you that. Your father who was a ball, or the rest of the Tide Thorns, the rest of your shitty fucking religion.
What god is in charge of that?
The god of judgment. So, was your lost soul a good or bad person?
Great person.
Well, we better hope so. Because... And Casimir's like, Balthazar, stop. Oh. Little brother, trying to stop me from helping someone. Let me just tell you something, Isabella Balador. If I've learned anything from the Fated Fates or the rest of my time here on this godforsaken planet, it's that you can trust nothing, no one, and nothing will ever go the way you wish it to.
Well, that's pretty clear, yeah. But I could trust him.
Can you trust yourself?
No.
Well, I guess we'll all see each other in the bad place.
Yeah, I mean, you and I will be there. I get that, Balthazar. That's fine. I'm just talking about my partner. I'm not talking about me. I don't need to go to the good place. I won't go to the good place. So.
Kind of like nods. And kind of like lets his hair fall down in front of his face and then kind of like shakes his head and just says, I don't think there's any point of hoping anything at this point anymore, so if he was a good person, he's probably fine. Sorry for your loss. Cazamir kind of goes, Issa, maybe you should leave. I would say we could leave, but I have to watch him. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We can talk later, Kaz.
Kind of like nervously nods. All right, Vilmar people, we all do. Yeah. And then you can meet up with them if you wish to, Issa. Unless, do you think you're going to... Issa, do you think you're going to be staying in, or do you think you're going to try to find them?
Try to find them.
Yeah, it's kind of like an open tap room. There is a stage in the middle for performers.
Yeah.
Right now, it's probably just like a couple people just kind of like up there playing like...
Issa gets up there and blows them away with her
oboe.
Right.
Oboe.
She's full oboe recital.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But so you guys walk in. I'm just going to say probably by around that time, Issa will catch up behind you. And that is where we'll end today's episode.
Uh-huh.